Hi. I'd like to recount to you a conversation I had with my daughter about 2 weeks ago. We were sitting in a park in the sun, and I said to her during the conversation that did she realize that everything she was looking at, she wasn't actually looking at all. And when she saw it, what she was seeing was actually inside her own head, inside her brain, a recreation of what was around her, but not the thing itself. And I pointed out that that's how we all see, that, but that we all suffer from the same illusion that we are looking out at the world, which of course we're not. We never look out at anything. Eyes receive light. They work like a camera lens. They take in light and pass that light to the back of the eye where the optic nerve is, and through rods and cones which create light and colour. Then all that information is passed along the optic nerve to the brain as an electrical signal, which is then recreated as an image inside our own brains, inside our heads. So everything you're seeing now, and hearing, and anything else you're feeling, is actually only going on inside of you. It's a recreation of the world outside, but not the actual world outside. Now I know we all learn these things in school, how the eyes work and such like, but then we forget that because the illusion is so great that we are actually looking out at the world. Which, when you think about it, explains things like witnesses seeing things that were never actually there, that nobody else saw. If you get a bunch of people in the same place and get them to observe something going on, they will all report different things, all of them. Yes, there will be some correlating ideas and things seen, but they will all be coloured by the personality, by the way that the individual's brain interprets what they see. So this idea that we all see reality, not really true. Now my daughter was horrified by this when I told her these things, and said she didn't want to know. I don't want to know that. I want to carry on believing that I'm looking out at the world and it isn't inside my skull. And I could understand that. It's a frightening thing to think. It shakes all our certainties about what we think we're seeing and where we really are. Now imagine her horror if I'd carried on telling her about the very thing that we're using to recreate the world inside our own heads, our consciousness itself, and just what that is. Another thing that we don't really think about much, we think that we are ourselves, our personality, and that's the totality of who we are and what we are. But in truth, we're the end product of a long line of things that happen inside a physical object, the brain. And all of that takes time. Everything we're seeing that we take in through our eyes takes time to process. Now, it's a very short amount of time. Our brains are incredibly fast at interpreting information. Of course, they fill in an awful lot of gaps as well, which is why we make mistakes, why we hear things that weren't really there, see things that weren't really there, because our brain is covering up for the fact that it doesn't have time to process the information that quickly. So you see, although we all think we live in the here and now, the truth is, of course, we actually live in the there and then. We are always in the past, always. It's unavoidable. It's what we are. It's the way the brain works. And yet we all suffer from that illusion, that we are experiencing the world as it happens. But we're not. We never do. And you just think about these two things. The fact that we see the world, don't look at the world, we see it. And what we see is a recreation of what's out there inside our own skulls. And the thing that we do it with, the thing that we interpret the world with, the thing we communicate with the world with, as I'm doing now, is the end result of processes inside a physical object. Now, if you think about these things, and truly think about them, it must make you stop and wonder. All the things that you will believe as a human being, how much truth is there in any of those things if you really challenge them, if you really challenge yourself and ask yourself deep questions? And as I say with all these things, go back to first principles. First try and understand what it is that you are, what it is that you are dealing with, this thing that you are. Only surely once you understand what that is, what you are as a physical being, can you then start to look at the world and ask questions about it. Anyway, I'm sure I'll find something to speak to you about again soon. Thanks. Bye.